Here we go, NFL Week 7. We're here already. We're going to touch into the NFL, sportsbook, and fantasy with all the games, and then we're going to go deep into it Sunday morning on the live streams, 10:45 to 12:45. Come and join me. We go over the game flow, player props, who we like with the spreads, all that stuff. So looking at the list right now, the best game that stands out to me is a battle between two first-place teams. You got the Detroit Lions at Baltimore. Baltimore's a -3 favorite. Now, I'm a big fan of Lamar, and I'm a big fan the last 2 years of Goff. Goff is 13-3 in his last 16 starts. The Lions are cooking. They lost to a tough Seattle team, and that's it. They're 5-1. Baltimore's 4-2. So, as far as props go, I'm looking for a Lamar rushing prop, possibly to lead the game in rushing. I don't know if Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get that many carries. I don't know how the Lions are going to run. The Lions are a nice underdog. I kind of like that, but I don't love it because no Montgomery, and the game's at Baltimore. So what I'm looking at in that game is a little bit of a Lamar Jackson rushing. I think he's set at 55 yards, which is 10 more yards than Gus Edwards, what he's set at. So I'm looking at Lamar rushing that game, and I think that game will come down to the last drive of the game. Cleveland -3 at Indy. We know Anthony Richardson's out, but Deshaun Watson practiced in full today. The Cleveland fans have been getting on him a little bit. He's practicing, hoping to go. So that's all I'm looking at there. I don't like the game. Washington -3 at the Giants. Guys, have we been hearing about the Saquon Barkley trade rumors? I'm really, really nervous about this. I hope Saquon Barkley doesn't get traded. As a Giants fan, forget the +3 at home. I'm just hoping Saquon Barkley makes it through and remains a Giant going into the future. So that's what we got to see there. The Raiders are 2.5 favorite at the Bears. The only thing I want to tell you about this one is there's a tight end on the Raiders that's really coming on. Fantasy football-wise, Michael Mayer. You might want to look at Michael Mayer. He's really coming on. No quarterbacks are playing in that game. Garoppolo's out and Fields is out. So the only silver lining I see in that one is Michael Mayer. Buffalo is -8.5 at New England. Everything in my being tells me to take Buffalo minus the 8.5, but division game, road, laying the 8.5, I'd stay off that. Latavius Murray, old veteran back. He's been running good his whole career. Whenever he gets a chance, whatever team, he runs well. Watch for Latavius Murray around goal line opportunities in the Buffalo-New England game. Another game with good runners, Atlanta is +2.5 at Tampa Bay. I'm really looking at two players that have disappeared. Fantasy panic button. Tyler Algiers, he's getting carries, but no production. And Chris Godwin. You see the number one receivers tearing it up around the league, but a lot of number twos have yet to show up this year. Where's Chris Godwin? Moving on. Pittsburgh Steelers are +3 at the Rams. East Coast team going across the country. I'm sure it's 4 o'clock game. You want to stay away from that. You know what else you want to stay away from? Rams running backs. Little McVay. Last year he was quoted as saying, "I would never run the ball once if I didn't have to. I just do it so nobody yells at me." He would pass every play if he could. So I know the new running back is on the waivers. A lot of people picked them up, but I would stay away from any Rams running back moving forward. And then Arizona +7.5 at Seattle. Seattle, they were home to begin the season. It's stuck in my mind. They lost. They almost lost to the Rams. They did lose to the Rams, and they definitely didn't cover because they lost the game outright. Now they're back home. Divisional game again. Arizona +7.5. +7.5 in a divisional game with a sneaky tough team is too much. So for that logic alone, I like Arizona in that game. The Chargers +5.5 with that fish face coach. The Chiefs never cover, but that fish face, I hate him so much. I'm a hater. I don't really hate him. I don't want to get thrown off YouTube. I don't like the coach as far as football. So Quentin Johnston, how do you think the GM feels of the Chargers? Quentin Johnston, you draft a receiver in the first round high, and the coach never plays him. He'll be gone. He'll be gone very soon, so I'm not worried about that. Green Bay, -1.5 at Denver. Next. Miami, and the last one, the Sunday night, Miami +2.5 at Philly. Guys, I'm going to end with this. Miami's still +1,000 to win the Super Bowl. Fastest team in the world. It's going to be a nice test. If Tua's not concussed, that team is the favorite to me to win the Super Bowl. If he doesn't get concussed, because no one else has caught up to that. No one really knows exactly what they're doing. In a copycat league, you can't even copy it. That's what I see so far, week 7. Join me in the Sunday morning live stream, 10:45 to 12:45. Tomorrow I'm doing the UFC 294, calling the fights, scoring them. So like, subscribe. See you soon.